Click subscribe to get daily Manchester United content from passionate Reds, only on All for United.
Hello and welcome to All for United with me, John Foster, MUFC, on the main account this afternoon, talking a little bit about tomorrow's game. And title of the show is pretty much 5 players to look out for tomorrow. So if you know the players, then feel free to get in the comments and agree or disagree. And if you don't know the players, maybe you can learn a few things off Connor and Andrew. Probably not me, but I'm sure we'll agree on a few. And that's about it. But look, guys, it's one day to go. Really exciting times. It's been a fantastic week. We're all knackered because we've pulled out as many stops as we could possibly do, considering we all work full time. We've done a lot of shows on the men's and women's account. Colin, to start off with yourself, how are you feeling now, getting so close to game day?
It's getting a bit real now, isn't it? I think, I said on the show that went out last night, I think, people I think that are maybe coming for the first time are looking at this as a bit of an expedition game. It doesn't really mean much, but obviously fans that like ourselves, obviously that's followed the team all season, it's a must win, and I think that's starting to kick in a little bit now. The fact that this isn't just, yes, it's an occasion, and it does feel a little bit like a carnival festival kind of atmosphere, but at the end of the day, it's still a must win. It's a crucial league game that we've got to bounce back from the West Ham result, more importantly. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's getting a bit nervy now, and I think the nerves have just come from because you never know, what can happen. So yeah, it's getting nervous and exciting at the same time.
And do you getting nervous? How are you feeling now?
I'd say probably a bit more excited at the minute. Probably when I'm at the game, I'm like, then the nerves are probably kicking a bit. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the women's team grace the Old Trafford pitch in front of fans this time. As I say, last season they couldn't, so this time it'll be good to cheer them on inside the stadium.
Yeah, I'm obviously really excited as well. Bit exhausted already. I think I need a good sleep tonight and go to bed early, because obviously we'll be getting up early on tomorrow morning. But it's been a long week, but it's been good. I think the club's done really well promoting stuff. I think Old Trafford looks really nice in what's happening there. The fan base is jumping on it. The journalists have done really well as well. So I think we've done a cracking job this week, putting that extra last push to sell tickets. And even us, as fans, we're encouraging people to buy tickets, and it's worked. We've managed to get a few between us who's never been to the ground before, and never been to a women's game before, and some who've never been to the ground before as well. So I think it's all the hard work is paying off, and we just need to enjoy Sunday now and just sit back and just take it all in. So we're going to talk about 5 players to watch for tomorrow's game. So this isn't necessarily the best 5 players or our 5 favourite players. These are just 5 players to watch for tomorrow. So I do know that we've agreed on 2 of them. So those are the players that we'll start off with first. So Connor, do you want to start off on why you chose one of those players?
Do you want just one of them, yeah? Or do you want both?
Yeah, just the one for now, and we'll talk about that one player.
So I think it's arguably one of our players of the season, particularly at the start of the season. Stats haven't backed her up too much recently, but she's still been involved in the games, and that's Ella too. I think I said the other day that she's not only becoming the face of Man United, she's becoming the face of England as well, and she's pushing herself onto the European audience more than just Man United now. And to do that at the age she is, I just think the numbers she was putting up at the start of the season, playing as a false 9, by the way, not her actual position. She was pushed out of position. She's played on the right this season. She's played on the left. She played down the middle, which is obviously her best position. She's had an unbelievable season. She really has stepped up this season. And definitely the player to watch. If somebody's going to score tomorrow, you'd be putting your money on her or the next player, I'm sure we'll talk about in a moment. But yeah, she's just been unbelievable. And it's not just everything out. She's a likeable person. She clearly gets on well with the rest of the team. And it's her work rate on the pitch. She's always the one. The Derby games spring to mind where, when she's straight away, she's the one that's passionate, and really pushing the team on and just never stops working for the team. So yeah, if you never watched the women's team before, the one that will stand out straight away is definitely our number 7 for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So obviously I've gone for Ella as well. So for anyone who doesn't know anything about our women's team, Ella too, and she's an attacking midfielder, sometimes plays out wide on the wide right. She can do that and then drift into the centre. As Colin said, she's playing a false 9 position, but I think the majority of the fan base likes her at that centre attacking midfield role. Obviously wears number 7 as well. A real admirer of Cristiano Ronaldo when she was growing up. So really good on social media. Doing interviews, but also just doing TikTok videos and stuff overlooked there. And her and Mila Turner. Mila Turner is one of our centre backs. She's really fun to watch, and a lot of the youngsters look up to her. She's a good role model, and as Connor said, do fantastic with the Lionesses. Not only has she just got into the squad, she started to play regularly in the first 11, and that's not easy to do, So she did have a great start to the season, which I think helped that, but she's maintained it. And I don't know if Connor said this, but she has got a good partnership with someone else who we'll mention shortly as well. So, she's a quality player. Andrew, what do you think Tooney's going to bring to the game tomorrow?
Yes, she's proven a real asset to the team. I mean, her creative attacking output has been combined with a clinical finishing in front of goals too as well. That side as well. So she's had, I think it's 7 goals and 7 assists in 19 appearances this season. So, and also she's just hitting the ground run. I mean, like I say, she was United's highest goal scorer last year. She had 12 goals and 9 assists, and I think one of the key things is United have tied her down now to a new contract back at the end of their. Is it November? She signed the new contract until 2025. As she said, United's been a part of her life growing up, and she's happy to carry on continuing playing for us. So we want to see her scoring more goals and having more assists. And I think it's a good move. United have secured the service of one of our star players, and it just shows the commitment they're showing now to the women's team, and hopefully, let's say, the other players will start committing their futures soon too. But I'm hoping to see Ella score on Sunday as well. So it'll be and a few other players too. So hopefully there's going to be a good few goals to see.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen the prediction on last night's show on the Friday Night Fan Forum, Connor and Andrew was both on there. I know Connor bottled there from giving a prediction, but Andrew did. What did you say again, Andrew?
I said about 3, maybe 4 goals, hopefully. So we've got to get that goal difference back up, stop Man City from catching our tails.
Yeah, I said 4-0 as well on the Anthony prediction show, which went out, I think, yesterday midday on the men's accounts. And I think Tooney's going to be a part of that. I do. Just a bit of a background on Tooney before we move on to our next player. Obviously, she has been with us since our very first season in the Championship. Obviously, played quite a few games there. She wasn't necessarily our best player in that season, but she did very well. Second season where we was in the WSL, she wasn't a first choice player. She was very often the first choice substitute, to come off the bench and make an impact. And then the third season, she established herself. Now, bearing in mind that you had a centre midfield of Jackie Groner and Hayley Ladd and Zellum, for her to force her way in on that third season was absolutely fantastic. And now, as Connor said, one of our best players of the season this season and playing for Lionesses. Just one quick question to you both before we move on. Is she going to be playing as a centre attacking midfielder, or is she going to be playing on the right wing?
In my team, I've got her down the middle.
Mm-hmm.
See, the same to get the best out of her is through the middle. That's where I'd put her as well, but Skinner might have other ideas.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same, unless if he wants to play Vilda-Bovisa, Jackie and Zellum, and then obviously Tooney will probably be forced out wide. We'll see. Something to look forward to. We might see that at some point throughout the game. Andrew, the next one then, one that we agreed on. Who's the next one shall we choose?
Yeah, so that would be Alessia Russo. So this one player has definitely made a big impression on the United team. Has also formed a great partnership with Ella Toon as well. So Russo's a creative forward. She likes to move the ball and create chances to score, and also creating space for others to exploit, which certainly has helped Ella Toon score more goals as well. And also another key asset to Russo's game is her work rate and ability to hold the ball. To say there is a debate which position is best for Russo. Is it like out on the wing on the right, or is it being a number 9?
Well, let's talk about that then, and then come back, Andrew, because I think it's a good point. Because I was probably, I was wrong. I think I was proved wrong in the big games, definitely, because I wanted to see her out wide. Not not because she's not very good in the centre, but because I want to see more of her. I like to see her drive at players, so I like to see, as an inverted winger, I love to see her driving and and taking shots on and taking people on. She's strong and she's good at that. So I didn't mind having her on the wing, which allows somebody else to be on the pitch to be that number 9. We saw her against some of the stronger teams, and it didn't quite work out for us. So it's probably the wrong way to go. But a holder play as a number 9 is fantastic, second to none. A goal scoring is second to none. So being up front as the main striker, I'm absolutely fine with that. But sometimes I just feel that there's 2 or 3 on her, and we just don't get the best out of her, unless if it's like a real open game. Do you want to kind of give your thought on that, Andrew, and kind of jump in as well?
Yeah, I was going to say, Bruce say that debate, which is her best position, but I think the game where I saw it, I'd say with her position was the Reading game. It was like between her and Martha Thomas, they were like switching roles. So Martha would sometimes be out on the right, and then it'd be Russo. So they're sort of, say, a bit more fluid in the system. So it's not necessarily they're both going to be in the same positions. And I think that's the way Mark Skinner's sort of, he's giving the opposition food for thought. It's like, well, the opposition players are going, well, now I've got Russo on me. Now I've got Martha Thomas on me. I'm like, they can't quite work out what to do next. But I say Russo, I just think going forward, I think you've got to sort of define her role, whether it's going to be on the right or that like centre forward that we need. And I mean, she's definitely got a powerful shot in her. I mean, there's a few times. Well, I think I remember when we did Arsenal away in the league out. It was like I didn't realise how powerful it was until those balls were coming right over. I was like, you literally had to duck out the way from her powerful shots. I mean, some of the other players we have inside have powerful shots on, but Russo is just like, she can really put something behind it, and so it'd be nice to see her get on the score sheet as well. So, but yeah, that's one of her key assets, a powerful shot too.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not too sure where, because I've kind of improved a little bit wrong as well in terms of her, because I wanted her out wide as well. But after seeing her in the big games, I don't think she's fully got the defensive capabilities to play there. I think against smaller teams, no disrespect to some of these other sides, but I think you can get away with it. Against Reading, she played down the middle, but she was kind of interlinking out wide anyway. As Andrew said there, her shot power was unbelievable. Her finishing is very good. Now, she's obviously our top scorer on 7. She's down as playing 17 games, but I'm just checking her minutes here. She's played the same amount of minutes as Mannion, who's only played 12, and only a bit more than some of the other players that have only played about 11 or 12 games. So it just shows that obviously earlier on in the season she was coming off the bench for cameo appearances, obviously at Durham. Same as there was a couple of occasions where she's come off late, or come on late on, I should say. So to be our top scorer, I mean, the goal against Spurs, if anyone missed it, go and watch the goal away at Spurs. I mean, she's got no right scoring from there. The way she just shrugs off the defender, powers through, not even looking at anyone else, and to score that near post. You talk about shot power, no keeper saving that. And yeah, she's had a good season. I said that she, as Andrew said, kind of said anything about her. She's good at holding the ball up, can drive at players. Brilliant strike on her. The goal against Reading, that she scored. She scored a few of those this season. The kind of the power that takes it past the keeper, and yeah, she's a massive asset. And she's only 23 as well. She's got a good link up with Ella Toon, as the song goes, which I'm not going to do on here. We'll save that for kickoff. But yeah, she's got a good link up obviously with Ella as well. So yeah, another good asset to the team. And same with Ella. Like I said, if you were going to put money on somebody scoring, it would be Ella or it'd be Russo. One of those are probably going to bag.
Yeah, 100%. She's having a fantastic season, and she joined us at the start of last season. Got injured, so we didn't see much of her, which was very unfortunate. But we've seen a lot of her this season, and she's just developing. And as you guys both said, she's just so strong. You just wouldn't want to come up against her as a defender. So you put Tooney's creativity and movement on and off the ball, and the technical abilities Tooney with Russo alongside her. You're covering pretty much everything with those two players. The next player is someone that both Connor and Andrew agreed on. I always say Andrew. It's because I know there's so many Andys. So I always say Andrew, and I always say I feel like I need to apologise every time I say it, but I'm gonna stick with Andrew because it's on the screen as well. Who was it? Oh, Anna. Okay, talk to us about Anna Bache then.
Yeah, so amongst us United fans, affectionately referred to as the Spanish Queen. So definitely been one of the key performers in Mark Skinner's side this season. Not only is she good defensively, but her ability to get forward with the ball down the wing and get involved in the United attack. She's definitely proven to be one of the best fullbacks in women's football right now. But yeah, a good defender and working well with the rest of the defensive line. So I'm hoping it's going to be on Sunday against Everton. She's more on the attack rather than having to defend. So I'm just hoping I can just see her perform at her best for that game, and then for the rest of the final games of the season.
Yeah, definitely. To me, I think, put numbers and stats aside, she's probably my player of the season because I don't remember a game where she's actually made a mistake or a costing mistake. I think first game against City in the league, I think, obviously Lauren Hemp caused a lot of issues, but she's going to do that against pretty much everyone she plays. But in the reverse fixture in the league, Honor had dealt with her pretty well, considering she had no help defensively. She was on her own for a lot of that game. Thought she did really well. Like Andrew just said, she's so good defensively and very, very good offensively as well. The goal against Reading obviously opened up her account then. I could just see John's little comment. I'm going to tell everyone you said that. So John's little pun he's put in the comment in our little private chat here is he said on her own.
On her own? She's on her own? You said this, I just pointed it out.
That's terrible, that is. But yeah, she's very tenacious as well. If she loses the ball, she will not give up until she gets that ball back. So for me, honestly, I think she is one of the players of the season, if not the player, because I don't remember her ever making a full-on mistake this season. I don't think she's ever dropped below a 6 or a 7 out of 10 this season either. Just brilliant, like I said, offensively, defensively, and also in a system that relies heavily on fullbacks. With Mark Skinner, she's played a vital part in that, and for her age, 22, tie her down for 6 years. Let's get her on a long-term contract or something because, what a player, unbelievable.
Yeah. One of the best fullbacks in the league, definitely one of the best attacking fullbacks in the league. We're basing this on tomorrow's game, so you'd like to think that we'll have a lot of the ball, a lot of gaining territory, in their half, in the final third. So you'd like to see Honor really up there and whipping some crosses in, or as I like to say sometimes, the inverted fullback. So you might see her actually get in the middle of the park a little bit as well. We've seen her do that and get some shots away and score off them as well. So absolutely fantastic player, and definitely someone to keep an eye out for tomorrow. My third pick is Leah Galton. So one of my favourite players, and she has been from day one. Winger on left wing, likes to cut in, but also likes to go out wide. She can run onto the ball, but also dribble with the ball. She's just so naturally gifted, so down to earth. Really hard on herself, very critical on herself. She's got very high standards. Just a fantastic out-and-out winger. Had to change the game a little bit, working under Skinner, playing under Skinner. But for me, if Leah's got space, she's as good as anybody. And even if she hasn't got space, she's got the technical ability to dribble past you. So if Leah's on form, she can literally win this game tomorrow. And I pretty much want to see that happen. I want to see her boss the game at Old Trafford because one, I think she deserves it, and two, I think this game's set up for that. Whether it be, I think the only way that it wouldn't be set up is if Everton do go really deep and then just kind of like pack out the box and make her life difficult. But if we can stretch out that play, Leah's just going to have so much freedom, and I just can't wait to see it. Andrew, what's your thoughts on Leah this season?
Yeah, I think start of the season, I think she struggled a bit, but then I think other players did as well with Skinner's system and tactics. They're all trying to work out what he was trying to do, and then it's sort of, in the last couple of months, Leah's just hit the ground running. I just think that goal she scored against Reading, where it was when she was put through by Russo, and it's like she only had the goalkeeper beating. It's like she just had the time and just the composure, and then she just rounded the keeper and just slotted the ball home. So I think, she's really just, she's coming good. Her form's coming good at the right time, which we need in these last 5 games. So she could be proved keen, so contributing like assists for other players, but also scoring goals for us too. So it's good to see her. She's improved over the season as well.
So I've gone for a left winger, Connor. Your fourth player is someone who plays on the right wing, Kirsty Hansen. Why did you choose Kirsty in this game?
Purely because if you have a look at Everton's fixtures, they've played City twice and Chelsea in a week. They should. I said this about West Ham though. They should come to Old Trafford a little bit weaker on the fitness side. And Old Trafford, as we all know, is a massive pitch. Now, I don't think Kirsty Hansen's going to start. However, I do think she's going to score, because if you're coming off the bench, which I think she will, she should do. We don't have that many attacking options coming off the bench. Having said that, it looks like Senior Bruins back, so maybe. But I just think Hansen coming off the bench, I was massively impressed first game against Reading. Obviously, opened the account, opened our season with a brilliant goal, and she's been in and out obviously with injuries. She's had a very hit and miss season, but I just think she's again another one, 23 years old. So, as the song goes, I'm not going to sing a song either, but she has got trickery about her. She has got a good skill on her, and she's very quick. And I think when you play against Everton, fitness later into the game, you bring someone like Kirsty Hansen on. I think that was going to be very dangerous. We saw what she did earlier in the season, when she's come on in games, she's absolutely changed it, kept the momentum that we've had. So, again, another player that's just. I mean, we could sit and rave about all the players, but for me, I just think it's a shame that she's not more involved in the squad. I can see why, because our front line has been on absolute fire recently. So it's going to be hard for her to get back in, but I think she can. I think she can force her way back into this and become a starter for the remaining 5.
Yeah, I think Hansen's impact has sort of been more off the bench this season, so it'd be nice to see her start a few more games. But so she's got a good passing and dribbling ability as well, and she can also score goals too. And she's done this on several occasions for us and the national team as well. So it's just unfortunate that others have got ahead of her. So hopefully she'll be able to contribute on Sunday as well, and then going forth into the remaining games as well. But also a defensive contribution as well. She will get back and help and play a crucial role. And say if Honor's got forward and then suddenly there's a break from the opposition, Hansen will try and get back and help out and defensive wise as well. So, but I just think she has all the ability to shine in the next few years, and if she gets that regular playing time. So, I think she potentially could be considered going forward in the next few years one of the best wingers in the WSL. But she just needs to get that regular game time, which at the moment she's just not quite getting.
Yeah. And that's credit to somebody else who we'll mention. That's Connor's last pick, so we'll save that one. You've gone for Hansen off the bench. I've gone for Fuso off the bench. So my third, is it my third pick? Yeah, my fourth pick. Sorry, my fourth pick is Ivana Fuso off the bench. So real good season for Ivana. She's also very unlucky not to get more game time. She got a lot of game time in the Conti Cup. In the early stages. She was getting game time there. She's one of the first or second choices to come off the bench in the WSL games. And I think we'll see her again. I think we'll probably see a lot of players. I think, if we are winning, say, 2 or 3-0 with 20 minutes to go and we're looking quite comfortable, I do think Skinner will probably try and get as many players on the pitch anyway. But obviously in a professional way, we wouldn't just do it for the sake of it. But I do think we'll see Fuso. And, we talk about trickery. She's definitely trickery. She's got blistering pace. And this could be a game for her, couldn't it? I mean, how awesome would it be if she does a bit of a dance when she scores in front of the Stretford end and, or the J stand, or wherever we will be. I'm excited about this, because I'm excited about the whole squad. I really am, because I think when we're on form, when we've got the amount of time and space that we could have, we could really have some fun tomorrow. I really believe that. I think it does come a bit down to composure. There's been so much hype this week. I really hope it's not got to them too much. I hope that they've dealt with it in the right way. And the reason why I'll say this is because we have got like a young squad as well, and we have come short a little bit in some of these big games. But I can't see it. I can't see it tomorrow. I really think that we'll go there, have fun, and the best team will come out as victors, and that is definitely going to be us. Whether or not she'll get on the score sheet, I'm not too sure, but I definitely think she'll have a few tricks up her sleeve. So for me, my fourth player is Fuso. Go on, Andrew. What are your thoughts on Fuso?
Yeah, I think the start of United career, it's been just they had a few setbacks. She's had injuries, and I think it was like more November, December when she made an actual debut, if I remember rightly. So it's just like, let's say, it's just like Kirsty Hansen's not had much starting actually from straight away. She's actually been coming off the bench, and even when she's come off the bench, she's like, is she wanting to be involved in the action? I remember the Conti Cup defeat to Chelsea, even though it's like, I think was it 3 or 4-1? 4-1 there, I can't remember. But literally Fuso came on, literally said, "Oh, give me the ball, I'm going to start creating something and like get us back into the game." So she has that ability to literally create something out of literally nothing. So just another player you just want to see more of. But we've got other players at the moment are getting ahead, and just say it's a nice choice to have from off the bench. And I mean, say it's what is our best starting 11, or who do we put on the bench? Say Skinner's got a good choice to choose from. He's the person being paid to make those choices.
Connor, your fifth player is someone who's obviously kept Hansen on the bench and out to the starting 11. It's Martha Thomas. What are your thoughts on Martha in this game then, Connor?
Yeah, I mean, without spoiling your two final picks, obviously we could have gone, I was thinking Jackie, I was thinking Borisa. I wasn't quite sure which one of them was going to play, so that is the sole reason why I've not selected one of those to be in, because they're just honourable mentions. I'm sure we'll get to that after we've all done our picks. But in terms of Martha Thomas, I've said it since she came in, ever since I've seen her in the first few games, just underrated. I think people are finally starting to see that and starting to see what she does bring. You only have to watch the Reading game to realise her movement off the ball. If she can add clinical finishing to a game, she will be one of our best attackers, because her movement as a forward is unbelievable. She's been pushed out onto the right, and she's dealt with that very, very well. I thought she's been excellent out there. Her link up with Russo and Galton, that front three has been very, very good. Like I said, her movement's exceptional. Her hold-up play is pretty good. It's not as good as Russo's, but it's very solid. She's quite quick on the ball. She's got a good pass on her as well. I just think, it's a weird one with Thomas, because I'd like to see her back down the middle again, but then you'd be taking Russo out and putting Russo out right. So I'm not too sure. But yeah, as a player, if Thomas can add clinical finishing, like I said, she'll be one of the best forwards in our team, but she needs to add that to a game first. But yeah, very, very good player. And again, if that is going to be the front three tomorrow, Russo, Thomas, and Galton, which I expect it to be.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised to see those three interlinking and moving across the lines as a front three. They won't be staying in their positions for sure. They move across the line very well, and Thomas is a very key part in that. You don't have to be scoring all the goals and getting all the numbers up to be a vital part of the team, and that's what Thomas brings.
Yeah, I want to just jump on what you said. I fully agree. I think she has been underrated. I didn't know how good she was going to be out wide. I thought she was going to be more of the centre forward. And yeah, she just sometimes starts as a centre forward and moves out wide. But generally, she just had a great season so far. And yeah, she's keeping some top players out. If she plays right wing, it means that Tooney has to play in the centre, which means Jackie or Borisa or Ladd can't play. So because of how good Martha Thomas has played, she's keeping a lot of good players out, not just right wingers, but other centre midfielders as well, if you look at it that way. So I'm looking forward to watching it tomorrow. I agree with you, Conor. I do think she'll start. I think that'll be our front three. And we'll see how that pans out. Who's your final pick, Andy?
I was going to say...
you got two left, haven't you? Sorry, Andy. You have got two.
Yeah.
Give them both a shout-out.
I was about to say our number one, but she's actually our number 27. That's our goalkeeper, Mary Earps. So I'd say she's definitely elevated her game this season. I mean, she's got such a commanding presence inside the box and with the leadership too. And I mean, she has produced some important saves during games. I remember the first game I went, it was the Manchester Derby. She pulled off some great saves, but also I just remember the one at Arsenal away in the league, just that one from was it Miedemar? She literally just she got her hands to it and pushed the ball towards the bar, so Arsenal never scored. And I think also in the second half of that game, I think she had a save that she made with her feet as well. I'm just like, I thought she's reminded me a bit of our men's goalkeeper David De Gea, so a bit like that. And obviously, she mentioned in the interview this week, which she did with David as well, saying they've exchanged messages about each other's games and said, at some point, I'm going to have that training session together where they can talk about each other's game and improve. And she said you can see her dedication she's putting in to improving the game. She said, as I say, I think she said in an interview, I think last year, she said pretty much everything I do revolves around my football career, whether it's watching, studying, watching it all back or training. So she thinks, how can I improve myself as well? And obviously these improvements she's made this season and the form she's had. Okay, the only game I can think where she didn't have such a good game was the FA Cup game against City where we lost, and she just argued that two of the goals maybe shouldn't have gone in and Mary could have done something about them, but say those players are going to have those games where mistakes happen, but I say the form she's been in, I think she's been one of the outstanding players, and also her form's led her to become England's number one goalkeeper as well for the women's team.
Yeah, 100%. I don't really have too much to add on Mary, to be fair. She has been very solid in goal. I said the Arsenal away game in the league springs to mind. The couple of world-class saves in there. She's had a couple of mistakes, as you mentioned, the FA Cup game, but overall, as the whole season, she's very commanding. You can hear her, obviously, at LSV and some of the grounds we've been at, communicating with the back line. Comes out and collects crosses, and it's just a very, very solid keeper. That's what you want from you. I'm going to call her a number one, even though she doesn't have number one on the back of her shirt. She will do, hopefully. I've shouted this out on pretty much every show since she's done it because I think it is a very important message. I think you're just talking about likeable characters in the team. Obviously, Mary Oates is one of them. Her TikTok, by the way, is fantastic. Yes, I am on TikTok. Don't take the mic. But her Instagram post that she did the other day, just saying, I've got it right in front of me, so I don't misquote it this time. From not being allowed to play football at school to being on the front of Old Trafford, it's surreal. Things like that, I think, just reiterate the kind of occasion that's going to be happening tomorrow at Old Trafford. It's stories like that, and she's massively stepped up and improved this season, and again, just been our solid goalkeeper, which we've needed at times this season.
And if you want to read a bit more about Mary Earps, Catherine Batty, and I'm sure Emma Sanders, was it Emma Sanders, or did she just do two? I can't remember. And maybe Jamie Spencer, but those three journalists who have been to Old Trafford in the past couple of weeks, they've done some great articles on Mary Earps and Tooney as well. So check those out. My final pick is our captain, Katie Zellum, and I'm picking Katie purely because I think she's up there in probably one of our top 5 players of the season. I think her stats are fantastic. She's on form. She can score. She can have. If there's a set piece, look out for her. If there's a penalty, obviously look out for her. If there's a corner, definitely look out for her. She literally scored off 3 corner kicks. It's absolutely amazing in the space of 2 games. Showing some great leadership skills at the moment. As Connor mentioned, I think before we went on air, she played a centre back in the last game just to take one for the team and did very, very well. We may see that again at Old Trafford if we haven't got a fully fit centre back pairing. I just think that she's gone from strength to strength this season. I really do, and maybe she'll get the captain will get a goal at Old Trafford, which would be great to see. Connor, do you want to come in on Katie, and then we'll finish up with Andrew's last pick?
Yeah, definitely. another player that was underrated at the start of this season. I couldn't understand why, because I always saw the talent that she had, as did a lot of fans, to be fair. But there was quite a few of our fan base that just didn't rate her for whatever reason. And I'm not going to get into all of that, but getting good passing range on her. She's grown this season. I think at the start of the season, fans wanted her to be a bit more aggressive in tackles and a bit more of that kind of leadership on the pitch. And I think she has grown into that a bit more as the season's gone on. As you said there, filled in at centre back, no complaints. Straight. I wish you'd stop with these pods, John and Alex, in our private chat. Ever since I shouldn't have picked Honor as as one of our players, because John is straight.
You just said Kate has got a good passing range on her. That's what I'm saying. Come on, it's been a long week.
Moving on. And yeah, as you said, from set piece, he's got a brilliant free kick on it. Like as you said, 3 corners. Has anyone scored 3 corners? Someone let me know if they have, because I don't know a single player.
Especially not surely not 2 in one game as well.
No, that's what I mean. It's almost unheard of. And leads a lot, and she gets on well with the rest of the squad as well. And she's another one, when you're talking about the occasion on Sunday, played through the academy setup and then had to leave because there wasn't a United women's team, but came back at the first opportunity because she wanted to play for United. So it's stories like that that's going to make it special. And yeah, I hope she's one of the players. I think if there's a few players I've got listed that I want to score, she's one of them for that reason. The fact she came back, she wanted to come back to play for United, and just to have that moment. Yeah, she's been another one that's been good this season, and certainly in the latter half of the season, people are starting to see it. Yeah,
Andrew, your last pick. You've gone for Hannah Blundell, obviously the opposite side to Anna Bache as a fullback. Why have you gone for Hannah in this game?
Yeah, since we bought her from Chelsea, Blundell's not. I don't think she's not looked back since starting a United career. I mean, she's definitely struck up a great partnership with fellow fullback Anna Bache, and they combine well to provide assurance in both the defence but also the attack as well. So you can see Hannah just, as the chant goes, marching down the wing. So literally, she getting forward and helping out Leah Galton in the attack as well. And say Hannah's on the attack, sometimes it's Leah that's just dropping back to help in the defence. So with Hannah too, she can literally whip crosses into the box as well to get, hopefully, for our players to score too as well. And I think, say with Hannah and Honor as well, they've worked well with both whoever's been at centre backs. So obviously at the start we had Mannion and Millie Turner. Now it's Diane and Maria as well. So they've all the whole defence seems to have worked well together. So, but yeah, Hannah's been, I'd say, one player to watch on Sunday against Everton. To say, hopefully marching down the wing and maybe say getting crosses in and maybe even getting a goal. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think has she scored for us yet. I can't remember. I don't think she has.
She definitely assisted against. Was it an assist against Birmingham or a goal? I can't remember the first.
She had a couple of assists this season.
The derby at LSV, the one in the league, she did for Russo, if I remember rightly. I'm sure it was her cross. But I'm just trying to remember if she has scored this year. I don't think she has.
Blundell hasn't scored this season.
Yeah, so it'd be nice if she did that at Old Trafford too. But yeah, say defensively too, she's say she tracks back well. Okay, there's been a couple of occasions where she's made mistakes in the defence. Obviously, the City game in the FA Cup where her header didn't quite make it back to Mary, and City went through and scored. And obviously, Reading away, we were 1-0 up, and then she went to make the pass to Honor on the right, and literally hit it towards the Reading, and it went towards the Reading player, and then they scored. So she's had a few blips, but overall, she's been a good player for us this season.
100%, yeah. Anything? I'll summarise the list shortly, and then maybe just give a couple of honourable mentions very quickly. We have chosen a lot of attacking-minded players, just because I think the nature of this game. We're at home. We're against a weaker team. I think that we will dominate possession. I think we will need a lot of bodies up front to try and break down Everton, and I think that's why we chose some of the players that we have chose. So just to kind of summarise, Connor, you went for Russo, Honor, Tooney, Martha Thomas, and Hansen. Andy, you went for Earps, Tooney, Russo, Honor, and Hannah Blundell. And then I've gone for Galton, Zellum, Tooney, Russo, and Fuso. So quite a few similar names, but also a few different names as well. If you just want to shout out maybe one or two players who you haven't chosen, Connor, and then we'll just quickly go around that way, because our squad is full of talent, no doubt about that. Obviously, we just want to choose our 5, but there are a lot of other players to watch out for tomorrow, isn't there?
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm not going to name the whole squad because you could quite easily sit here and I could name everybody, but I'm just going to pick. Obviously, I mentioned Jackie and Barisa earlier. I'll probably let Andrew if he wants to talk about those potentially, but I'm just going to mention one. So I could go through the whole squad, so don't think that I'm not picking others. It's purely because I could be here all night if I start talking about every single player in our squad. But Hayley Ladd, and the reason why she didn't make my 5 is for the simple reason. When we're talking about players to watch or players to look out for, she doesn't... I'm trying to think of the best way of describing it. She's not one to what... You won't know what she does unless you're watching just her a lot of the time. Now, she's chipped in with a lot of goals, actually, this year. I think she's on a couple of goals this season from a defence. She's our defensive midfielder if you don't watch if it's your first time watching the team. But what she does and what she brings to this team, stability, calmness on the ball, able to bring it out from the back. She is everything that a defensive midfielder needs. She could do well in the men's side, to be fair. And we've seriously missed her, while she's been out with injury. But she's not one of those players to watch because what she does is so clever. It goes under the radar. So that is the only reason why she didn't make my 5, because up there, if she'd been fit all season, she probably would be on for player of the season. She'd be in the top 3, I think, for player of the season. But obviously injuries have set her back a little bit. But yeah, she's definitely, like I said, I could mention the whole squad, so don't come at me saying, oh, why haven't you mentioned this player? I could, but I'm not going to. Hayley Ladd, because we've missed her when she's been out. And she is, when you look at the spine of the team, we've mentioned Mary already. You've got Hayley Ladd, you've got Tooney, and you've got Russo. And obviously we need one of our centre-halves, but our 2 first-choice centre-halves are injured, so we can't be picking those either. But yeah, Hayley Ladd for sure.
Awesome. Andrew, if you could choose 1 or 2, or just give a shout-out to 1 or 2 other players to look out for, who would you go for?
I'm probably going to say Diane Caldwell, our centre-back. I would say our rock at the back. I'd say she come in and hit the ground run. I remember, I think it was the Arsenal away game with her debut, and I thought, how's she going to handle Miedema? And she literally did really well. I was like, I remember point in the second half, I thought Miedema was on the ball and coming into the box. I thought Miedema was going to do some trickery here and just get past Caldwell, but Caldwell just shepherded her out of the box and put the tackle in as well. But I think she's brought assurance to the defence as well. I know losing Millie Turner and Aoife Mannion, we just thought, how's the defence going to cope? But I mean, Diane's just literally come in and just been, there and just like putting those the tackles in, and also wants to bring the ball out from the defence as well. So, and she seems to have struck up a good partnership with Maria as well. So if we haven't got Millie or Aoife, we've got Diane and Maria to be our centre backs as well. So I'd definitely look out for Diane on Sunday. But hopefully it's more United on the attack rather than we're having to defend. So but we've got an assured defensive line if Everton are coming at us.
I will just quickly add, very quickly on Diane. I think I mentioned earlier about a couple of players I want to score. Obviously, Zellum's obviously on there, but Diane is another one. I'd love to see Diane score at Old Trafford for the pure fact she is a proper United fan. I know we've got a lot of them in our squad, but it would just be brilliant to see her score because of how passionate she is about United, as they all are. We've got a lot of United fans, but I think with a lot of our other players, they're probably going to be here past this season and we'll probably get another chance. I worry that this might be Diane's only chance to play at Old Trafford with potential injured players coming back and everything else. So I'd just like to see, I want to see obviously play well like I do the rest of the team, but I'd love to see Diane score because what a moment that would be. Yeah,
I was going to say on Diane, she said in an interview this week, she said her eyes lit up when she knew she was going to be playing at Old Trafford. So one of the reasons signing for United. So yeah, it'd be good to see her score too as well. So and celebrating in front of all of us.
Yeah, Well, if we talk about this, then I need to mention someone called Jackie Gronin. So, still yet to score a goal for us. She is probably one of the best. Well, she is one of the best players that we've got. So it's simple as that. And for her to score her first goal, for it to be at Old Trafford would be absolutely amazing. It really would. There's nothing else you can say. It's just obviously she's a massive Man United fan as well. So hopefully, if anyone's going to score, we'd like it to be Jackie. We could have mentioned Jackie. We could have mentioned Bo Risa to look out for as well. But I'm just going to give it one more shout out to someone that we haven't mentioned yet. Carrie Jones. So youngster who's come in this season. I'm not expecting to start, but wouldn't it be great to get him on the pitch at least and play a game at Old Trafford? I think what we've done as a squad this season is, use all of our squad. We have rotated. We have been very clever in using the right players at the right time. Carrie has had her moments in the Conti Cup and at the start of the season. I think with other players being fit and come back from injury, it's harder for her to get into that starting 11. But now maybe we'll see her at Old Trafford, so which would be great to see as well. So that's pretty much our 5 plus a few honourable mentions. So hopefully, when someone comes on as a sub or when someone's got the ball, you can try and memorise a few names and see what we've said. I'm sure you can definitely remember Honor after all the puns that we've just mentioned today. But just look out for some of these players and do a bit of research on them before the game. Watch this back and let us know what you think. Is Connor going to give a prediction now, or what? Because it's still shying away from it.
Oh, go on then. I'll do it considering this is going to be my last show that I'm on before the game. So, dear me. I'll go in confident then. I'll go with what some other people are saying as well. I'll go with 4-0. I think we will keep a clean sheet. I can't see Everton posing too much of a threat. I'd like to see us match City's result, obviously midweek as well. In terms of scorers, like I said, what I would like to see is different to what I think is actually going to happen. I think Russo will probably get 2. I think Tooney will probably get on the score sheet. And one of the midfielders, either Bo Risa, Zellum, Jackie, maybe.
I'd love to see a Zellum free kick. If I could see something,
I'll go from a corner.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Go on, sorry.
I'd like to see any of those, to be fair. I think the thing is we just want to see goals, don't we? Like I said, I want them all to score because I think it would just be special for them all. But yeah, I think get 3. I want us to go in at half-time comfortable. And like you said, then we can start maybe experimenting in the second half. We're 3 or 4-0 up by kind of 60-odd minutes. You could look at the likes of maybe Carrie Jones and Jade Moore, for example, or Fuso. These, kind of, I was going to say youngsters then. Obviously, Jade Moore's one of the oldest in that squad. Those kinds of players, just to get that experience, because I think, just quickly before we do wrap up, one player I do feel sorry for is Sophie Bagley, because she's probably not going to play, barring a bit of injury. She's probably enjoy the occasion and everything else around it, but she's probably the only player going in knowing that she's not going to play, whereas the others have all got a bit of a chance. So yeah, it's obviously unfortunate for her, but yeah, there's my prediction then, John. 4-0, Russo with 2, Tooney with 1, and I will go with Jackie. I think she's been saving it. Just look at the Reading game. She had a couple of chances in the 6-yard box and she didn't shoot. She's doing that on purpose. She's been well. I think I said this to Andrew on the show yesterday, the fans forum. If she starts shooting every opportunity she gets, she's been waiting for Old Trafford because she's not had a single shot in the past 4 games that she's played. So
yeah.
I was going to say, and as we chant, if Jackie scores, we're on the pitch. Might be all getting on that Old Trafford pitch with her.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And you never know, maybe she has been saving it. But I hope she does. I think that's what we need to do. We might see that we do have to take a lot of shots outside the box and not wait for that perfect pass. But we'll see. We'll see. Thank you to everybody for joining us. I hope that you've enjoyed the show. I hope it's been quite educational with it being on the main account and not on the All United WFC account. If this is the first time that you have been listening to me, Connor and Andrew talk about the women's team and not the men's team, join the All United WFC Twitter, Instagram, obviously subscribe on YouTube as well. But also, more than anything, just start watching some of our women's games. If you're a Man United fan, why wouldn't you support the women's team as well? So it's probably a bit too late for you to get a ticket now, but still keep an eye out. There's plenty more games yet until the end of the season. So I'll come to the Sports Village. You're more than welcome to message me, Conor or Andrew, on Twitter or wherever you follow us from, and just get in touch, and we can help you do that as well. And that's exactly what's happening. You know, Conor's been speaking to a few people today, this week, and we know of at least 2 or 3 people who've never been to a women's game before, who's part of this channel, and you know they bought tickets. So what it's all about, it really is. Anything you want to shout out, Conor and Andrew, before we go?
No, nothing else from me. Let's just.
We've said enough, haven't we? The past week we've said enough, so I think we're going to wrap it up. But hope everyone enjoys the game tomorrow, and see you again soon. Thank you.